Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite here, and this started to make the rounds. I just heard about this, and I wanted to make a quick video and also a rant because it looks like that it might be sounding like in the comics that after the City of Bane that there's a possibility that Bruce Wayne might die or he might be walk away from the cowl. Um, I'm hoping that this is, and he's going to be having a replacement. That someone else is going to put up the cowl, and it seems like they're going to put Luke Fox, the individual on the screen here, as the new Batman. I think this is the stupidest, dumbest thing they should do. I don't think they should ever put anybody else underneath that cowl. And now you guys know I'm an African American person. I have an open mind when it comes to things that make sense. I am not against having a black individual as Batman, but I'm saying is after everything we have had with Bruce Wayne, and we had Dick Grayson in the cowl, we had Jason Todd underneath the cowl at one point, we had Tim Drake as Batman for a little bit. He was the Batman of his future, and we had that future Tim storyline. He was Batman, and we had Damian Wayne as Batman. We've had almost all of his sons, either foster children or his legitimate blood son children, underneath that cowl. We've had Terry McGinnis, who is his genetic son himself. So I'm not against anybody else being under the cowl. What I'm saying is that Luke Fox already has his own persona. He has Batwing, and he also has his own legacy he's building. For DC, if this is true, for them to take this character out of his role and his legacy that he's building as as Batwing, and put him as Batman, it actually will confuse too many fans, and also you now have to write, is he right for the legacy? Is he right for the person to do it? And also, how is his other sons are going to react to this? How is Damien going to react to this? So it's one of those things of that you're already put him at a huge staple point. I'm sorry, you put him at a huge disadvantage already. Despite if let's say the audience likes the character, but what if they don't write him well as Batman? There's a certain motif and there's a certain way that you have to write Batman. And if you write Luke Fox as this snarky know-it-all character, this know-it-all Batman, it's gonna take people off. And also, he's not that type of guy that actually can strike fear into the hearts of villains. He doesn't have what Bruce Wayne and what he taught his sons, what they have inside of them. And I went into a video earlier about the different Robins. Now, every single one of them have been physically trained by Batman. They know the type of mentality you have to be Batman. Even Damian does. And you have to be able to strike fear into the hearts of these villains. You have to be cold. You have to be distant. You have to be ruthless. And that's what makes Batman very, very dangerous. Luke Fox is still growing as Batwing. So how can he be able to grow as Batman? That's a completely different character. He's going to put himself in a completely different mindset. And I'm not saying that I don't want them to try anything new, but why did you do I don't want them to do this. I personally don't want them to do this. I think it's the dumbest thing to do. I think that they should build him as Batwing and have him have his own stories. In my personal opinion, if they're going to have Batman, if they're going to have Bruce and Batman, Bruce leave the role as Batman for a time being, then have Gotham with no Batman. Have Gotham with no Batman. You have Damian Wayne, you have Jason Todd, you have Barbara Gordon, you have Kate Kane, you have Luke Fox, you have all these other characters who are in Gotham, but they can't measure up to what Bruce has done in that city for all those years. And that will make better storytelling. That's better drama, because instead of having someone coming in and trying to assume themselves as Batman, you now have to have a city without Batman. How is this city going to react without the Cape Crusader? How is that city going to react without their guardian angel? It's like having Metropolis without Superman. We've seen it a good amount of times, but we've rarely ever seen Gotham City without Batman. And they've tried this before. They tried someone else underneath that cowl with Dick Grayson, the perfect replacement. He is the perfect person to take over as Batman. But every time they wrote him in there, some of his own personality kept seeping through, and he kept smiling. It was like we were getting, instead of the Dark Knight Batman, we were getting classic the Cape Crusader slash World's Greatest Detective slash Adam West Batman, and that's not the Batman that Gotham need at that time. Um, I don't. I'm not against Luke Fox. Like I said before, I'm truly not against Luke Fox as a superhero. I think we do need more African American superheroes in comics. But the thing is that there are a lot, and they all been shelved. And now we're getting new characters, a new generation of African American superheroes, and even minority superheroes out there. But people don't understand or even remember some of the ones that were created in the 80s and 90s. There were tons. Jaime Reyes is one of the most popular ones at the time, and he has a complete legacy. He has a long-standing legacy as being the Blue Beetle. So I'm not against that. What I'm truly against is I think that having Bruce Wayne, I don't think they should even kill Bruce Wayne. I think that Bruce Wayne should just walk away from the role right now. I think that he should recharge his mentality, recharge his batteries, and then he could come back in a much stronger way with a much stronger storytelling. But I don't think they should kill him off. I think that if they're gonna quote unquote kill him off, I think they should just he faked his death and he's gone. And I think that he and Selena should disappear. And I think that Selena should play it as, wait a minute, like, or Bruce disappears, but he leaves a trail of breadcrumbs for Selena to be able to find him so they could be together. I think that would be the best levels of story, because then you're giving Bruce exactly what he needs. He needs to be with somebody that's going to help him. And it's not like he doesn't need his family or he doesn't need his sons. It's more the fact is he needs that companion. He needs female companionship. And I don't mean sex or anything like that. It's just there's just something that he needs that can help him be able to become Batman once again. And then we will get better storylines. I think that writing him out will probably be the best thing after the whole thing of City of Bane and the losing of Alfred. Now, we don't know if Alfred's really dead. That could be a complete misdirect. That could be Clayface that molded himself as Alfred for all we know. We don't know that. It could be some people attributed to Scarecrow's fear gas. So there's a lot of things they could do in City of Bane that can actually get Bruce out of the limelight for a little bit, and they can show how can Gotham function without their superhero, without their criminal vigilante. And I think that'll be the best way of telling stories. But to replace Bruce Wayne / Batman with Luke Fox or anybody right now would be completely stupid. It would be completely disingenuous. And we've already had it like 3 times in all of continuity. We've had 3 people that put on the cowl in continuity and was Batman. And we've had good ones and we had terrible ones. We had Azrael Batman in the 90s. He basically became Batman and he was ruthless. He actually assumed the role to the point where he became a god. He thought Batman was a god, and that it was his holy honor to become Batman, until Batman had to beat it out of him and made him realize that he is just a man. And which forced Jean-Paul Valley to realize, holy crap, that his training as Azrael corrupted Batman, and Bruce had to do a lot to get that city to trust him again. And I think that's what they need to do. They need to have it where there is no Batman in the city, and it kind of leads up to what they're doing in Batwoman. And but I rather for the city to see that, can they function without Batman? And then when Batman does come back, we're back to almost square one. If you really think about it, we'll be back to square one. Does Gotham really need Batman anymore? The cops are the police department is getting more funding. They're actually getting their jobs done. The corruption is still kind of plaguing the city a little bit more than it used to, because Batman usually kept the criminals at bay, but now because Batman wasn't around, and you had all these other costume individuals there, but they're not keeping an eye on the smaller things that's going on in Gotham to keep it straight and narrow. We don't know what's going to be happening with Dick Grayson, if he's still going to be Rick Grayson or not. He has his own problems to deal with. We don't know if Tim Drake's going to get himself involved. So it's like there's a lot of things going on in that city, and also there's no Jason Todd. Jason Todd is on his own little crusade. So if you really think about it, his sons are nowhere in sight. Damien, who knows where Damien's at? Damien might go back to the League of Assassins. He might go try to find his mom. Who knows? We don't know what they're gonna do with the character. So there's a lot of things they could be doing, and there's a lot they could actually do in that city to put it back to square one with Bruce and Batman, but not have that city with Batman in there. You could have it that Batwoman is trying to keep everything in straight and narrow, but she's realizing it might be a little too much. She doesn't have the natural resources that Bruce has. She hasn't been in that city as long as Bruce and knows that city in and out. She has to see every crevice, every little nook and cranny. And on top of that, her mindset might be just about taking down the criminals. She's not trying to save the soul of the city. She's just trying to take down the criminals. Where Bruce is, he knows the city so well, and he's built such a strong heritage there that people know that Batman's there. They don't cause that levels of crime. Also, it's more in the fact that since Batman has been there, that the people of Gotham are not going to go over the deep end. But they don't know Batwoman that well. They know that she's been around Batman, but they don't know her mentality. They don't know who she is. So I feel that if you do good stories around the fact that Gotham does not have Batman at all, there is no Batman. Bruce Wayne is quote unquote dead. Alfred Pennyworth is taking over the estate. You have Lucius Fox in charge of all of he's the high CEO of Wayne Enterprises. Dick Grayson is in Chicago right now. You have Tim Drake MIA. You don't know where he's at, even though he's the one of the other heads of CEOs of Wayne Enterprises. Damian Wayne is nowhere in sight. So there's a lot of things you can easily write in that city that things are going to get worse and worse and worse. But it's not to the point where if you think about what I'm trying, if you think of what I'm saying, what I mean by worse is the corruption that Bruce and Batman have tried to outright sought in that city is slowly seeping back in. It's in the shadows. It's not like it's out in abundance, because you have Batwoman in the city, you have Batgirl in the city, you have other characters in the city that can actually take care of Gotham, but they're not looking at the seedy things that's going on. You have Barbara that's trying to do it, but the thing is, she doesn't have the mentality that Bruce does, and she really doesn't. She doesn't have that mentality that Bruce does. So that puts her in a different category. Same thing goes for Kate Kane. She doesn't have that mentality that Bruce has. And that's where I feel that's the best level of stories. You write a city without Batman, and I'm still going to emphasize this. So the whole point of this video, and I'm not saying anything negative about Luke Fox. I think Luke Fox is a good character. When they wrote him in, he was very egotistical. He was very in your face, and he made individuals think that, oh, he's just doing this because he's a spoiled rich kid. No, he actually wanted to become a superhero because of Batman. And he wanted, and this was during the whole Batman Incorporated situation. So he wanted to be a great hero himself. But he didn't take it very seriously. And when Bruce came back and he got Luke into the fold, and he started getting true training from Bruce, he started to realize he had to take this seriously, because if Bruce is going to train him, Bruce is going to make sure that he stays alive. He does not want Lucius to know his son is out there getting himself murdered, and he didn't have the appropriate amount of training. So that's why I feel that having Luke right now and becoming Batman, you're now going to completely have to change the whole offset of Batman again, and try to put someone else in the suit when you don't need to. Just write the city without Batman. Write it without Batman. Have everyone think like, hey, wait a minute, there's no Batman. Who's going to put on the suit? They say no one's going to put on the suit. Well, why not? The city needs Batman. They go, no, we're not doing it that way. We're trying something different. And that should put a big stamp on, we are trying something different. It's great levels of storytelling. You're keeping characters in the role that they were meant to be, instead of them trying to replace Bruce. You cannot replace Bruce Wayne. I don't care. I mean, Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, even Damian Wayne, they could replace Bruce Wayne, but they're not Bruce Wayne. They are not Bruce Wayne. And I think that's the best way of doing it. Now, the other picture that you see with the character of Luke Fox, this is the actor that's playing his character on the Batwoman series. So now it looks like we're getting Luke Fox, but he's being more close to the Cisco slash Mr. Terrific from Arrowverse type of character, and I think that's a mad disingenuous to the character. They're making him geeky. They're making no. This guy is a suave ladies man. He's not a geeky person. He actually can go out and get himself numbers. He can get women. It's not and he's not a meek person. He's very in your face and he's very confident. And I think that they're again trying to CW is trying to position more minority characters as these geeky I'm sorry, geeky characters that we could try to relate to. We already had those characters. How about we try another type? How about we give he could be intellectual and confident at the same time, and I'll be perfectly fine with that. But the thing that I don't want is I don't want them to turn Luke Fox into this geeky guy that runs away from fear every single time. That's not his character, and that's going to make everyone very upset because this character has not been around for very long, and you're already screwing up his legacy. You're already screwing up the amount of time and care that these writers have wrote Luke Fox as ever since they created him in the Batman series. Okay, and it's to me that they should never have done this. I think that this is gonna ruin this show. I think that this is a bad way of introducing Luke Fox, and it's going to make people not like this show even further. And there's already so much stigma and hate towards this show because of them already crapping all over Bruce Wayne and Batman and how they're writing Kate Kane's character, that it just making everyone not even want to care about this show. And they want this show to be a replacement for Arrow. Dude, the amount of problems Arrow had, it never crapped all over Green Arrow. It never crapped all over Green Arrow. It crapped all over Black Canary, but it never crapped all over Green Arrow, the character of Green Arrow. It didn't do that when they did the Arrow 2024. It never did that. So why in the heck are you doing that to Batman? The mainstay, the rock, the character that kept DC on its feet for close to 35 years. If it wasn't for Batman beating Superman back in the Dark Knight Return series, DC would have folded up. DC would have folded. DC would have been bankrupt. Okay? I don't care what anybody says. When Batman beat Superman and became the face of DC, that's what revitalized DC. DC was going to go bankrupt again. So no, I don't think that crapping all over what Batman has done for this company is the best way of doing this character. Just to pivot a character that doesn't have as much legacy or name creditation to do that for it. It's stupid. So I'm gonna end it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe down below. I'm actually very pissed about this. I don't want them to kill Bruce Wayne. I think they should write him out. They should just write him out of the comics for a little while. Do a separate series for him and Selina. They're going on their own little misadventures, and you're seeing Bruce revitalizing himself again. And how can he be able to become Batman once more with the mentality that he's going to try to save his city from criminals? And how is Bruce and Selina's relationship going to grow from this point forward? Are they going to try to do it one more time, or are they just having fun out there? That Bruce can finally let himself go, and he and Selina can grow into something a little bit more later down the road if they want to attempt it. And also on the CW front, this is a disgrace. I don't want them to turn Luke Fox. I'm about to call him Luke Cage, but I don't want them to turn Luke Fox into into a shell of his former self. This character became a superhero because he wanted to imitate Batman. And when he realized that he needed the training and Batman was willing to train him, he took it seriously. And he became a very good character. And I get very upset, especially when people are complaining that there are no black superheroes out there, but you are going to okay them turning this black superhero into a laughingstock on a show for a white woman. If I was this actor, I would have been livid. I'll be like, no, I'm not doing this after this season. I'll commit it to one season and I'm out. If you're gonna write this character this way, this is a disgrace. That Black Lightning does not disgrace its roots. And now you got CW doing these shows and they're disgracing the roots of a black character. Get out of here. That's stupid. So, like I said, comment, subscribe, share down below. Hit that bell, and I'll do another. I'll do some more videos. I'll try to get some more out before the weekend, because the weekend I am doing nothing. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I might do a stream. I don't know. I might do a couple of quick videos, but nothing too grandeur. Okay. You guys have a great one. All right. Bye.